Baruch Ata Asherah Anat Malacha Olam Asher Kedishani Mitzvotav V'Tivani Lehitati Tzitzit. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Vahafta et Anat Elohecha ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודייך וחיוך הדברים האלה אשר נוחי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבת חכם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך וחיה כי ויחי אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר נשבע לאבותיך לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר לא מילאת ואורות הצבים אשר לא עשת קרבים בזדים אשר לא נתת והלכת ושבת הישמר לך פן ישכח את יורש תישך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. Good morning, Ghost. How are you? Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Will. Welcome all. You all showed up right at the same time. You're from Vietnam. How's the weather in Vietnam? Is it raining? Good morning, Ghost. Another big day. What's the big day today? What's happening? What's going on in your life? I was just about to start reading a story. No rain. Is it warm or is it cold? What did you eat? I'm sorry, those are all terrible questions. I don't know what to ask you. I think Vietnam is fascinating. I would love to go there. It's warm here. Yeah, it's springtime. I'm very pleased that it's springtime. So where we left off in the Epic of Gilgamesh, I mean, that is why I asked what did you eat, because I think Vietnamese food is delicious. And I want to eat some Vietnamese food. I want to eat some Vietnamese people. Yes, just want to eat them all. Because they're vibrant and beautiful. And what do you do with vibrant, beautiful things? You eat them. Good morning, Lady Legacy. How are you? So, where we left off. You know, there are ways of eating people that one might not call cannibalistic, Will, if you know what I mean. Like a serpent that eats its tail, but is not consumed. So, where we left off, there was about to be a sexual ritual. And whether this sexual ritual was, something like, state-sanctioned and, I don't know, high church sacred, to use Will's term, right? Like, whether it was, like, a state ritual where Gilgamesh and some sort of priestess figure would unite in order to ensure the fertility of the fields, right? This is one possibility that the translator indicates. But there are multiple descriptions of what is happening in the city of Uruk before Enkidu gets there. And another one is not so formal and maybe a little bit more horrific, right? Gilgamesh is deflowering the young brides. In any case, there's something sexual happening in the city. And it's tied up in these dreams that Gilgamesh and Enkidu are having, or that Gilgamesh is having about Enkidu, about an equal is going to come to you. Right, some large force, some frighteningly large force is going to come, and you're going to fall in love with it and make love with it like a woman. And so Enkidu shows up, and people crowd him in the street because there's this festival happening, this like sexual festival, and then they wrestle. Enkidu's like, "You're not going to deflower those virgins. Don't do it. Don't do it, Gilgamesh. It's bad." And Gilgamesh is like, "I'm the king. I do what I want. I'm doing the important ritual about fertility in the fields. What do you mean deflowering virgins? I don't know what you're talking about. This is a 1,000-year-old ancient tradition, right?" Or I don't know. I'm reading into the text a little bit, but something like that happens, and they wrestle. They wrestle in the street. They fought in the street, in the public square. It was Gilgamesh who knelt for the pin, his foot on the ground. His fury abated. He turned away. After he turned away, Enkidu said to him, to Gilgamesh, "As one unique did your mother bear you, the wild cow on the ramparts, Nin-sun, exalted you above the most valorous of men. Enlil has granted you kingship over the people. You are the king. You are strong. You beat me in the wrestle. You must be the king." And then, what? They kissed each other. They kissed each other and made friends. Let's kiss and make up. Yes. So that's how you conclude. Maybe there's some frightening heterosexual things happening with the priestesses and the virgins, and maybe we should just kiss, and maybe that will solve everything. So, as foretold in the dream, Gilgamesh goes off to his mother Nin-sun, perhaps seeking her blessing on his friendship with Enkidu. Good morning, Jen. How are you? He says, "Mom, I fell in love with this big, strong, wild man. Is that okay? Is it all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, Enkidu's real great." But her response is a little bit garbled. You love this story. When was the last time you heard this story, Jen? So he goes and he tells his mother, "He is mighty in the land. Strength is his, like the force of heaven. Mighty is his strength, his tall stature." Oh! The mother of Gilgamesh, made ready to speak, said to Gilgamesh, Nin-sun, the wild cow, made ready to speech, and said to Gilgamesh, and we've lost her answer, "Mommy, he's from the mountains and he has a beard. He has a beard and it makes me feel feelings. And we wrestled and I had a lot of feelings. And then we kissed. And, what should I do about it, Mommy?" And, but we don't know her answer. We don't know her answer. She says, "My son," bitterly. And then there's a repetition, but we only have part of the repetition. In the second speech, Gilgamesh describes Enkidu's friendless state. It's so good, isn't it? So Gilgamesh says, Enkidu has neither father nor mother. His hair is growing freely. He has a beard. He was born in the steppe, and no one loves him. Enkidu stood still, listening to what was said. He shuddered. He shuddered and sat down. Tears filled his eyes. Tears filled his eyes because he's not lonely anymore. He was listless. His strength turned to weakness. They clasped each other. They joined hands like... And we... Like what? Like women? Maybe. We've lost it. Gilgamesh made ready to speak, saying to Enkidu, "Why are your eyes full of tears? Why are you listless? Your strength turned to weakness. You're not crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. You're not crying. I'm crying." And Enkidu said to Gilgamesh, "Cries of sorrow, my friend, have cramped my muscles. Woe, woe has entered my heart." So they're sad. They're sad, but they're like happy sad. They love each other, but they're manly men. It's a really good portrait. So, what happens next? Gilgamesh proposes a quest to kill a monster named Humbaba in order to cut a giant cedar tree from the forest Humbaba guards. Felling evergreen trees on distant mountains was a well-known demonstration of kingly power in early Mesopotamia. Enkidu, horrified, tries vainly to dissuade him. A well-known demonstration of kingly power. It's like, look at my Ferrari. Look at this big tree that I can cut down. I've got a big trunk. Yeah, my trunk is so big. Just that, yeah. They're gonna cut down a big tree, and they're gonna kill the monster that guards the forest, Humbaba, right? So they can get his planks, his wide beams. So, Gilgamesh made ready to speak, saying to Enkidu, "There dwells in the forest a fierce monster, Humbaba. You and I shall kill him and wipe out something evil from the land. We're in love. What should we do? Let's go fight monsters." Of course. Where's Will? Yeah, I want to hear the Humbaba-friendly reading of Gilgamesh. But Will might have left. Sometimes people don't stick around, you know? Okay. "There dwells in the forest the fierce monster, Humbaba. You and I shall kill him and wipe out something evil from the land." Enkidu made ready to speak. Will's here! "Will you tell me about the Humbaba-friendly interpretations of the Gilgamesh myth?" Enkidu made ready to speak, saying to Gilgamesh, "My friend, I knew that country when I roamed with the wild beasts. The forest is 60 double leagues in every direction. Who can go into it? Humbaba's cry is the roar of a deluge. His maw is fire. His breath is death. Why do you want to do this? The haunt of Humbaba is a hopeless quest." Speaking of not sticking around, you're running out the door. Wait, but Ghost, what is your big day? What is the big thing that you're doing? I'm so curious. You didn't tell me. What is on the docket for you? Is Humbaba the Hittite that David and Asa avoid? I don't know. From the Book of Kings? Not the Book of Kings. What is it? The Book of Saul? Or Samuel? The Book of Samuel, rather. You did? Wait, did I miss it? Did I miss it all the way at the top of the chat? Oh, gosh. Prick, cray, and go. No! I did. All you said was you are what you eat. I didn't get your message. Doing work on the floor, out in the big scary world. It was a while ago? Wait, but what does doing work on the floor mean? Now I'm so curious. Once we get to Humbaba. Okay. How long? We're not going to get to Humbaba for a long time. They have to like travel 60 leagues and have a bunch of dreams. Putting up vinyl graphics for the booths. I still have no idea what you're talking about. That sounds great. Like putting up billboards? Vinyl graphics for the booths. Like advertising? Wow. Yeah, I actually have no idea what your life is like. Maybe one day I'll find out. But you should go. At a convention. Ah, okay. What's the convention for? Am I keeping you? Do you have to go? What kind of convention are you setting up for? Enkidu made ready to speak, saying to Gilgamesh, "My friend, I knew that country when I roamed with the wild beasts. The forest is 60 double leagues in every direction. Who can go into it? Humbaba's cry is a roar of deluge. His maw is fire. His breath is death. Why do you want to do this? To haunt Humbaba, the haunt of Humbaba is a hopeless quest. Don't try to kill the monster. I'm gonna die. I don't want to die. Don't do it." It's like an easier way than painting walls. Oh, okay, cool. You're like putting up wallpaper, basically. Vinyl graphics. Huh. It's basically that Enkidu is torn between his love from Gilgamesh and his loyalty to the wild. Yeah, don't kill the guardian of the cedars, says Enkidu. Don't do it. It's a hopeless quest. And the forest mourns the death of Humbaba as its protector. So, how does Gilgamesh respond? Us forest demons always have to choose. Next time you need to tell me what the convention is about. Is it a I don't know, a bowling convention or a rifle convention or a magic card convention or a sex toy convention? What kind of convention? There's so many possible conventions. A medical device convention? Gilgamesh Con, yes. Is it a Gilgamesh? Is it a convention on ancient mythology? Enkidu knows killing the beast will eventually kill him. Yeah, there's foreshadowing, for sure. So how does Gilgamesh respond? Gilgamesh made ready to speak. And he says to Enkidu, "I must go up the mountain, forest. I must cut a cedar tree. I must." You wish it was a Gilgamesh convention, but that still doesn't answer the question. What kind of convention? An ancient mythology convention. Okay, I guess that's what it is. Part intellectual and part cosplay. We've decided what your job is, Ghost. I must go up the mountain forest. I must cut the cedar tree. A cedar must be big enough to make whirlwinds when it falls. So Enkidu's like, don't do that. That's a fool's errand. It's a hopeless quest. And Gilgamesh is like, I want big stick. Gilgamesh wants a big stick. Yeah, Ghost, your job does sound fun. I'd love to learn more about it. Maybe let us know in Discord or something. I don't know. We're putting the idea in the universe now. We should make it an ancient mythology cosplay convention. Sounds great. Yeah, I'll host one. 10 years from now at my farm, we'll have an ancient mythology cosplay convention. It'll be great. It'll be so much fun. It's a good 10-year goal. Why are you interrupting? We're done, right? Like, I think we reached a critical point. Gilgamesh says, I want to go kill the monster and get the big stick. And Enkidu says, don't do that. It's dangerous. And Gilgamesh says, I need to show how big my cock is. And then we'll leave it off there. Part lectures and part cosplay. You'll help organize it in 9 years? Great. Check out the link in my bio. Join the Discord server. We'll start organizing now. And we'll make Ghost decorate the convention. Exactly. In our big barn. We'll clean it up all nice. We'll set up a loudspeaker system and good lighting. Have a nice stage. We can have a fashion show. What will happen next? In the Epic of Gilgamesh, they'll go on a journey and they'll have a lot of prophetic dreams about death. And then they'll reach Humbaba, whose breath is death. Humbaba's cry is the roar of the deluge. His maw is fire. His breath is death. Be prepared to hear that phrase like 16 times, okay? It's important. What are you reminded of, Sarah? Princess Mononoke? Oh yeah, does it? Yeah, Mononoke is Enkidu. And Ashitaka is Gilgamesh. I'm like, I like Enkidu coded as a woman, for sure. But like, I also wish that Ashitaka was a woman too. Can we have like lesbian Gilgamesh instead of gay Gilgamesh, that'd be great. Much better than heterosexual Gilgamesh. Mononoke's heterosexual Gilgamesh, yeah. Pretty good. The wilderness is fighting back. Yeah, this is by far the richest of the Sumerian stories, right? Like, I loved reading you that Inanna myth, because it was lesbian Gilgamesh, right? Like, these women go to the underworld and they have sex and they come back. Like, it's pretty good, but it's like, it's shorter, it's like more evocative, whereas like, this is really a story. Like, the characters are richer in this than in the Inanna myth. In the Inanna myth, you've got like incredible imagery, but you have to intuit some things about who they are and what they want. But this is like very explicit, like, I'm lonely. I want a friend. Let's kiss. What was great? Lesbian Gilgamesh? Let's say Arati. Lesbian Gilgamesh was great. Yeah, the characters were a little simpler, but they were gay. That's for sure. I wonder what would happen to my teeth if I didn't frequently get comments about my teeth. Right? Like, it is, in many ways, the ultimate bowing to the trolls. The fact that I am pursuing all of these medical interventions to the way my face looks. Right? Like, yeah, I'm getting orthodontia work done. It's going to take a while. Because I'm tired of getting comments like that. Like, you win. You win. I mean, I guess it's okay, right? Like, there are beauty standards in the world. I want people to look at my face, and I don't want them to comment about my teeth, so I'm changing my fucking teeth. Like, I can do that. Alright, get out of here now. You win. I brush my teeth twice a day, and I floss them too. I have excellent oral hygiene. They're just a little bent. But, you know, I'm a little bent too. Have you noticed? Like, my entire skeletal system's like a little wonky. Like, one part of my chest is like distinctly incaved in. You probably can't tell because I wear stuff like this. But, like, yeah, my bones are just bent. My bones are bent in all weird shapes. I'm a little bit not straight, you might say. Will, you're not supposed to say stuff like that. You're revealing too much. Should we say Arati? Wonky, go. What is my favorite mushroom to eat? Chanterelles. Chanterelles. My favorite is chanterelles. There was a crooked ma'am who walked a crooked mile. She has a crooked sixpence. I've not heard that one. But yes, I'm quite crooked. It's true. You don't get to know, my trollish friend. Arati. Arati means flame. Flame in Sanskrit. No, I don't still go to temple. I haven't been to a synagogue service, like a formal synagogue service, since I was like 13 or 14. It's like kind of embarrassing. But I didn't know how to connect to Judaism, right? Like, I connect to Judaism by saying prayers in Sanskrit and by reading the Epic of Gilgamesh, like reading source material that is far afield from the Jewish canon. Because I feel like I need the context in order for me to like have a relationship to Yahweh that is fair, right? Like, I need to address Yahweh on his own terms. Be like, listen, dude, you're just one God among many, okay? You don't get the right to the genocide story and have that be the only story that we tell, alright? That's, like, not okay. You can't just, like, fixate on your trauma like that. It's not gonna work out. One day I'll go to temple. One day I will figure out how to be part of a Jewish community. But right now I'm still finishing up my degree, embedded in different kinds of communities, and they take up all my time and energy. So it goes. Good morning, Dr. Punk. How are you? We're going to say Arati now. Arati means flame. Here's the flame. Jaya Jaya Arati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jaya Arati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Baba Vidura Navanita Choya Jaya Jaya Arati Venkantaramana Venkantaramana Sankataharana Sita Radhe Shama Jaya Jaya Arati Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Sambasara Shiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jaya Arati Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sindari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jaya Arati Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jaya Arati Dattatreya Trimutriya Vatara Jaya Jaya Arati Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Arati Sanischaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Arati Sankarachaya Advaita Gravi Jaya Jaya Arati Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jaya Arati Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jaya Arati Agastya Munaye Shriyama Priyaye Jaya Jaya Arati Ayapa Samine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jaya Arati Jesus Grave Moses Grave Buddha Grave Jaya Jaya Arati Muhammad Grave Guru Nanak Grave Samastya Grubho Namaha Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala Natatrasya Bhati Natandragaratam Nima Vidyobhati Kudayamagni Twameva Bantapanabhanti Sarvam Tasya Basya Samidam Vivanti Om Gange Kayamane Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Siddhikaveri Hiyaha A little flat. Namastitam Namo Namaha. So I learned this prayer, Shivananda Arati, from the Shivananda Vedanta Center, Shivananda Ashram, in the Catskill Mountains of New York State. My mother was bringing me to that ashram from the time that I was very small. The language comes from the Vedic invaders to the Indian subcontinent. They brought it with them when they came down from the Iranian plateau, perhaps 3,000 years ago, something like that. Yeah, so I learned this at a particular ashram. I don't speak Sanskrit, but I do know this prayer, and I like it because it is inclusive, right? It contains the names of Jesus and Moses and Buddha and Muhammad, and that came later, right? Like this, most of the text comes from the Bhagavad Gita, but the Shivananda tradition modified it to include the names of those other holy figures, in order to appeal to an international audience, of which I am a part. You learned the Arati from your yoga teacher training. Your guru studied at that ashram. Really? Ah, well, there you go. Yeah, it's one of the oldest Vedanta schools in the United States. So that's not surprising to hear. I intend on doing their teacher training sometime in the next year, maybe 2 years. Sometime in the next 2 years I will do their teacher training. It feels important. Right, like if I have a religious community, that is the closest to it. It's the one community that I've been consistently returning to for my entire life. I haven't been there since the pandemic began because they closed up. They just completely shut out to the outside world. It made me so sad. I could probably go back now, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't been there in many years. And I know that you are a member of a very mainstream religion, and Will, and you're very proud of it. And I admire your pride of your mainstream religion so much. I wish I could have that kind of pride in Judaism, in a standard Jewish congregation. I wish I could unapologetically just join a conservative congregation. What a thing to think about. Oh, that's really cool. Would you post me a link to what she does? What they do? You actually didn't imply their gender. I just assumed she was a woman, but that's why am I assuming that? Yeah, I wish I had faith. What a concept. What would it be to have faith? Yeah, to believe in something. I believe in something supernatural. I think about religious community a lot. I wish I had a religious community. I don't actually wish I had faith. I like my my atheist theology, I guess, or my radical skepticism of certain ideas. I think that's important too. But community is critical. Thank you. Discord me links, please. You've never not had faith. Yeah, that would be the difference between us. That would be a very simple way of describing the difference. Yeah. I have difficulty earnestly telling stories that have a supernatural element. I can tell stories about supernatural elements, but there's a certain kind of claim of sacred magic that I have difficulty with. You only need love for the all-attractive. The rest is ritual. Love for the all-attractive. I love that. Oh my god. Can I... Love for the all-attractive. I am in love with all that is attractive, and that is God. Ah, that's so good. And the rest is ritual. What book? Radical skepticism of certainly not for me. Goodness has no atoms. Goodness has no atoms. Love for the all-attractive. Ah, what fantastic memes. Love for the all-attractive. Goodness has no atoms. I'm gonna write that down right now. Y'all are beautiful. Alright, note document. Love for all that is attractive. No, love for the all-attractive. That's what you said. Love for the all-attractive. You only need love for the all-attractive. Love for the all-attractive. Goodness has no atoms. Goodness is an emergent property? I don't think you're saying that. I don't think you're saying that goodness emerges out of the collective activity of atoms, like life does, right? Does life have atoms? Is life made up of atoms, or does life have no atoms too? What is goodness? How does it relate to being alive? You have a link for me? Good. Post it in the Discord. In the words of Stanley Hauerwas, love is not all you need. What else do you need? The Bhagavatam. You're watching it on YouTube. I've had unexplainable things happen to me. That's the only reason you're a supernaturalist. Had God ever spoken to me or touched me? No. But you've had unexplainable things. You've experienced the unexplainable. Viktakara translated from Sanskrit. That's what you're watching this week. Hate has no atoms either. There you go. Yeah, it's not just goodness that has no atoms. Hate has no atoms. Evil has no atoms. Yahweh has no atoms. Interesting. Alright, well, we should finish. That was a very important theological interlude. Thank you for that. Some of the most insightful things that I've ever heard on this stream. But remember, our love too is selfish. Yeah, I think that. I think love is basically selfish, yeah. Twameva mata chapita twameva. Twameva bandusha saka twameva. Twameva vidya javinam twameva. Twameva sarvamama deva deva. Kayena vacha manasendriya herva. Budyat manava prakriti sabhavad. Karomi adyad sakalam prasmahi. Narayanayiti sarmarpayami. Sarvadharmam pravichayam amikam saranam vrja. Aham sva sarvapapayo mokshayami masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, atoms, mind, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions that change the directory of my atoms. All these I dedicate to you. Thank you. Thank you. Your witness itself changes the behavior of atoms, like Maxwell's demon. I was just talking about Maxwell's demon. Woke up in the morning talking about Laplace's demon and Maxwell's demon. To you, to you, to you, to you, to all of you. Okay. So, let's conclude with Kaddish. We'll say Kaddish to remind ourselves that death has no atoms either. Right? To be a living thing is to also be a dead thing. To be open to death, to be exposed to it, and to eventually be enveloped by it, to be consumed by it. Right? That is our fate. If there is anything such as fate, then to die is our fate. And to suffer is our fate. But still, we can head towards that fate together. You believe death was defeated and will soon die. I mean, that would be the Christian theology. Yes. We will all be resurrected and life will triumph over death. I'm not so sure. We could debate that if you like, and will. What is the ontology of the resurrection? In any case, even if we will be resurrected in some apocalyptic future, still suffering is a thing that we will experience. And even then, we need to experience it together, and we will experience it together. And so these words are still relevant, regardless of what happens in Armageddon, or if Armageddon happens at all, or if the resurrection will happen again, or if it happened in the first place. Nonetheless, suffering is here. And so we respond with these words, with Kaddish, right? Collective prayer. There's a word in Judaism that I don't know if I have used on this stream before. The word is minyan. A minyan means 10, right? There are certain prayers, like the Mourner's Kaddish, that you are not supposed to say unless you are praying with at least 10 men. And we don't even have 10 people here, right? We're at 6. Me and my cat make 8, maybe. But I don't know. I still think we count as a minyan. But I think that there's an important concept there, right? Like, you should not pray alone, right? When you are orienting yourself towards the divine, right? Towards the all, right? You necessarily have to orient yourself towards the collective as well, right? Towards the us. So that's basically why I do this, right? Like, I believe very deeply that it's important to pray with other people. So we're not quite a minyan, but we're something close. And so we can say Kaddish. The old ladies are trying to make sure there's 10 women praying. Yeah, I mean, so the tradition comes from Judaism, right? That meme comes from a very old place. Satsang, yes, exactly. Right association. I love that you can insert the Sanskrit terminology. That's fantastic. Maybe that's plausible that Rambam would have gotten in trouble for doing stuff alone. I mean, there was discourse. Maimonides had discourse about when minions were and were not acceptable, for sure. And, like, he was a bit of a reformer. So that wouldn't surprise me to hear at all. I don't know that much about Maimonides. Yes, I'm on. Not for long. But we're having a really nice stream. Wait, Sarah, what's this? What? Play with your old ladies. It's important. I think praying with 10 old women is much more important than making sure there are 10 circumcised men. Like, what patriarchy? What nonsense. Anyway, let's say Kaddish together, because it's important. Right, now there's 9 of you, now we have a minyan. We've done it. We've succeeded. We have the numbers we need. Okay. So, for the last 2,500 years, my ancestors have been saying these words together, in groups, in response to death and suffering, and so we do as well. Yid Gadal, Yid Kadash, Shema Rabba, Biama Divrach Yotev Yam Lichmal Kete, Bechayachon of Yomechon Uchayda Kolbe Israel, Bagalav Isman Kari Vimru. Amen. Yehi Shema Rabba Mivarach Lealam on May on Maya, Yid Barach Vishtabach, Vit Bar, Vit Raman, Vit Nasei, Vit Hadar, Vit Alev, Vit Halal Shema de Kudesha Berichu, Leila Min Kol Birchata Vishirata, Tushbechata, Venechimata, Jamiran Biama Vimru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Amin Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael Vimru Amen. Ose Shalom Bimramav Huya Ase Shalom Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael Vimru Amen. Ose Shalom Bimramav Huya Ase Shalom Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael Vimru Vimru Amen. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a meeting with my advisor, committee member, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to graduate one day fucking soon. And I won't have so many meetings. I have a meeting to go to. Yeah, adios. Well, it's really, I feel so very grateful to be able to share this little space with you. Thank you. Yeah, and, Jen, please post that info in the Discord server. I would love to learn more about your yoga practice. Yeah, I'll see you later. Will I be here tomorrow? I will be here tomorrow. Yes, I'll be here tomorrow. Say these words again. I hope you have a lovely day. Farewell.